Back on Leading Edge, autism, we hear a lot about it. Our station tries to do something about it, but it is more than any one thing. Autism actually represents a broad group of developmental disorders. They're often characterized by impaired social interactions. Someone with autism will often present problems with verbal and nonverbal communication. Some people with autism perform at a very high level. Some have severely limited activities and interests. The Center for Disease Control estimates that 1 in 88 children in the U.S. has been identified as having an autism spectrum disorder. Enough for the numbers. These are people, and there are other people in this community, very talented people, who want to use their gifts to help in the struggles with autism. It is a pleasure to welcome in Nicole Corey to Leading Edge today. An accomplished lawyer by day, Ms. Corey also has extreme musical skills and performs in and around town. Boy, you guys, your band is busy. In fact, give your band a plug here.
Oh, Arctic Clam.
Arctic Clam. You've heard them. They're all over the place. And she's here today is the person behind Acoustics for Autism, a tremendous effort enlisting the support of really a couple of dozen musical acts in a day-long fundraiser and awareness raiser. Year 6 now. How'd this all start?
It all really started because I had several friends around town that I saw these struggles, and autism became so prevalent back in about 2006 and 2007. And I was noticing that as I was donating money to this fundraiser or that fundraiser, that my friends and their families weren't actually benefiting from it, and that instead the corporations were, which is by all means a wonderful thing, but these families are still having to struggle and go through and figure out how to pay for treatments and therapies that they believe may be helping their children. So a friend of mine and I, Dave Carpenter, were just at Doc Watson's one night and came up with the name Acoustics for Autism. Wouldn't it be cool? Yeah. And a couple months later, I put my brain to work, and within about a day we had an event planned. And from there it just snowballed and became this amazing charity that's done so well. Project I Am is the official charity. Acoustics for Autism. That's the charity, Project I Am. The event coming up is Acoustics for Autism. And I wanted to differentiate because, again, there are a number of agencies doing great work dealing with people, but you saw the related need, the extended effect that it has on families. Talk a little bit more in detail about how that actually impacts families. Sure. I had friends who, some of them were too scared to try to get their child diagnosed because they didn't, well, first of all, they were scared of the word, and second of all, they didn't know what to do and how they could afford it. Then I have friends who were hundreds of thousands of dollars in credit card debt because they found things that worked for their kids and didn't care. It was their child. They were going to do what it took to make sure their child got the help that they needed. And I thought it was ridiculous to see that parents maybe didn't have the resources or the financial means to help their child in any kind of way. And like I said, what started off as something that was supposed to be one benefit one time has really snowballed and done very well. We've given out well over $30,000 in the last couple of years to families, and there's a lot more to give. And I'll be real honest, we haven't gotten a lot of scholarship applications in the last couple of years. I got one for our last quarter, and there is money to give. Okay. And we're hoping families will start to pay more attention.
You guys have a great website. A good friend of ours, Josh Kubicek, very talented photographer, videographer, editor, has some videos on there and elsewhere. In fact, we're going to take a look at some of the past performances from Acoustics for Autism. And as we do that, I want to, hey, we know this person. How are funds raised when you don't even charge admission?
We've got several raffles that go on. We've got a silent auction. The silent auction runs from 1 until 5 o'clock, and this year it'll be at Buster Brown's. We unfortunately lost a space that we had utilized for the last several years, so Buster Brown's opened their doors to us. That'll be from 1 until 5, and music will be going there until 8 o'clock at night. We have a raffle for an iPad. We've got a border battle raffle, which is kind of cool this year. Ohio State and Michigan, some signed gear. You pick which team you want. Whichever team wins, not only does the person win that raffle, but that team who wins also gets the homemade cornhole boards.
Tell me about the effort to secure these talented acts. I looked at the lineup, and you're turning bands over like every 45 minutes. I mean, starting at 12:30 at the Village Idiot, and then over at Buster Brown's, you mentioned going to start at 1, go till 8. The Village Idiot goes till
2 a.m.
Yeah, it's really late.
And then there's the kid tent area as well. There's a third stage.
That's it. Okay, so tell me about the effort to get these talented acts. Tough sell to get that much commitment from that many?
Not at all. We have a great group of musicians in the city, and everybody's always willing to help. You know, the very first time we did it, I think we had nearly 20 acts lined up within weeks. Now we've gotten so big that I don't think musicians realize that we're booking up in November for the entire event, and we're very, very loyal to the people who have been loyal to us for the last several years. So they always obviously get the best spots and the best places, and we were filled up well before the first of the year.
You have people actually waiting in line saying,
Yes.
I'll bet you they'll make the deadline next year.
Yes.
All right, let's take a look at the specifics now. It's coming up. It is next Sunday, 1 week from today. It is the 10th
Correct.
of March. It's Acoustics for Autism. Just basically get to downtown Maumee, right? Because at the
Correct.
Village area, you're going to fire up at 12:30, go till 2 a.m. The Buster Brown stage right across the alley, 1 p.m. That's going to go till 8 p.m. Tent in between. You have some artists who will be there, a lot of kids activities.
Correct.
And do bring some cash, all right? Because we want you to enjoy the music. I got to tell you, I didn't even start down the list of musical acts, because if you start, you got to mention them all. They're just that good. I don't want to leave anybody out. But where they're going to make their money is on the, as Nicole was telling us, a variety of raffles and other things that need your support. And then the music is just sit back and let it roll over you. These guys are just the best. How do you fit it all in? I mean, you're a public defender, you're a private practice defense attorney, and you guys, I follow you a little bit online, you're playing all the time.
Yeah, I don't sleep a lot, but you know what? I think it takes a person with high energy and a lot of drive and a lot of loyalty to her word to do something like this, and it pulls at your heartstrings. That one moment when you're standing on stage and look out and see all the people having a good time and see the kids having a good time, and that one letter you might get, it makes it worth it. And luckily, I've got the energy to do it. So
okay,
keep going.
Good. It is Acoustics for Autism. Mark it down. It's going to be a great time. It's next Sunday. Get to downtown Maumee, take in all the music, and thanks to all of those bands, all those wonderful performers who step up to say, I want to be part of this. A special thanks to you. This was your brainchild. It must feel very, very good for you to see it come together. She's Nicole Corey. By the way, Arctic Clam, follow her band. They're all over town. And if you get in trouble with the law, don't. But if you do, then call her. She's the person you want to call.
Great.
All right, thanks for being here.
Thank you.
I'll be right back.